Hi everyone, welcome back to Edu-Astro. Today we are going to cover Lords of the Houses. This is a very different video because I'm trying to set up the base of how to understand Dashas, but before that, you have to understand the Lords of the Houses. Now, what does each Lord do in each house? That's a very long story. We will keep on covering it slowly, but today I want you to understand the basic concept and how to go about thinking when you are looking at the Lords of the Houses. So, in Vedic astrology, each house in the horoscope in the natal chart, they represent different areas of life. We have already covered that in the houses video. You can take a look. Now, the each house has a Rashi, right? So when I was explaining the houses, I told you that there will be a Rashi in each house, and the Rashis will keep on moving in a North Indian chart. Now, the each Rashi is governed by a particular planet. That planet which governs that particular Rashi is the Lord of that house. Say, for example, in the first house, you have the Rashi number 1, that is Aries. That means Mars becomes the Lord of first house. If you have the number of Rashi number 2, that is Taurus, then the Venus, the planet Venus, it becomes the Lord of the second house because Taurus is ruled by Venus. Like this, you can change the Rashi till the number 12 and the Lord of the first house will keep on changing. So before moving forward, I will give you a brief about what the houses are because I want to tell you that when the Lord of that house is functioning, what will it actually focus on? This is the most important part. So the first house, the ascendant or lagna, it represents self-appearance, health, overall personality, and physical body. Obviously, a lot of other things, but these are the main ones. Now, the Lord, any planet, as a Lord of the first house, when its dasha runs, when its time period runs, or when it is creating the impact, will impact your self-identity, general health, and overall approach to life. Second house is the house of wealth, family, speech, possessions, and early childhood. The Lord of second house, when it works, it will represent your finances, your wealth accumulation, family values, personal possessions, and speech. Third house, it's the house of siblings, communication, courage, short travels, hobbies, your fame, your endeavors, the amount of effort you put in, all these things. Now, the Lord of the third house will represent your communication style, siblings, courage, the skills you have, the rewards which you get, the fame which you get, the energy of pursuing goals. All this comes under third house. Fourth house represents home, mother, inner peace, property, vehicles, education. The Lord of the fourth house will represent, when it works, domestic happiness, peace in life, property, comfort, education, relationship with mother, all these things. Fifth house, it represents creativity, children, romance, intelligence, speculative gains, obviously, higher education in terms of graduation and learning new skills. The Lord represents intelligence, creative self expression, children, romance, and personal joy. Sixth house represents your diseases, your health issues, enemies, debts, daily work routines, your dedication, obstacles which you face, your service, all these things. So when the Lord works, Lord of the sixth house will work, it will represent your health matters, the work life balance which you create, the conflicts in your life, the debts in your life, the enemies or the opponents who you are facing in life, the service which you are providing, or your job. Seventh house is the house of partnerships, marriage, business contracts, promotions, another home away from your home. all these things. Now, when the Lord of the seventh house works, it will represent relationship dynamics, marriage, spouse, business partnerships, contracts, career advancements, another home which you create might be rented or another home like that. Eighth house is the house of transformation, longevity, inheritance, secrets, hidden things, joint assets, occult matters, all these things. Now, when the Lord of eighth house is working, what will it give you? It will majorly work on your transformation, your joint resources, the inheritances, if you have. The secrets, your hidden matters in your life, accidents, sudden events in your life, unresolvable issues or diseases, and deep inner changes which transform you. That's eighth house. Ninth house, it represents your luck, higher learning, spirituality, father, morals, duty, long distance travel. Now, when the Lord of ninth will work, it will represent your belief systems, spirituality, luck, long journeys, relationship with father. Now, 10th house represents career, public reputation, authority, and life goals, father's family. So, when the 10th Lord will work, it will represent and act on your career, social standing, achievements, your professional life, your duty towards your father's family. 11th house represents friendships, gains, aspirations, social network, your greed. That means desires, are they controlled or not? And the fulfillment of your desires. Now, when 11th Lord is working, he will work on your income, gains from your career, social circles, aspirations, and community involvements. 12th house is the house of expenses, losses, foreign travel, spirituality, liberation, and completion. So, when the Lord of the 12th house acts, it will impact your spirituality, foreign connections, isolation, liberation, subconscious mind, sometimes jail, all that stuff, even hospitalization. So, every ascendant has 12 houses, obviously, but the lords of the 12 houses change. So, instead of going through it, I have just created a table for that. You can see the table and pause the video, make a note of it, and we will move on to an example. I have taken the example of an Aries ascendant individual. Now, the first house of the Aries ascendant is ruled by Aries sign, and the Lord is Mars. The signification of first house, as we discussed, is yourself, your appearance, your health, courage, vitality, and a lot of other things. So, if Mars is ruling the first house, and Mars, is a very fiery planet, right? So, what will it do? It will give the Aries native a bold, assertive, and energetic personality. They are likely to be independent, physically active, and have a strong presence wherever they go. Now, Mars will bestow leadership, courage, and a pioneering spirit to these guys. Obviously, it depends upon the position of Mars in the horoscope, whether it's afflicted, blah, all and a lot of other factors. But the base effect will be like this. So, if you start understanding and thinking like this, you will be able to garner the base effect, and from there, you can make your predictions. Second house for an Aries ascendant is the sign which has Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. Now, the second house signifies wealth, family, speech, and values. So, as a result, Venus, when it's ruling the second house, suggests that the Aries natives may value luxury, beauty in their possessions and family life. They are likely to enjoy material comforts and may have a pleasant voice or a refined manner of speaking. Again, depending upon the placement of Venus and how well the Venus is placed. The financial gains can come through the work of Venus. It means creativity, beauty, partnerships, financial matters, or anything where refinement is required. So, anything where Venus is working very well would be a great area for financial gains, again, depending upon the position of Venus. Third house, which is ruled by Mercury, that's Gemini. The third house represents communication, courage, siblings, skills. Now, Mercury, when it rules the third house, it brings communicative and a curious nature. It enhances the skills in writing, speaking, networking, traveling, short travels. So, the natives may have a close bond with siblings and enjoy activities that involve intellectual exchange or short travels, right? Now, the fourth house has Cancer. Cancer is ruled by Moon. Fourth house represents home, mother, emotions, and inner peace. Now, as a result, when Moon gets active as a lord of the fourth house, it makes these individuals very deeply attached to home and family. Now, they may have a nurturing connection with their mother or motherly figures in their life, and they might find emotional comfort in their domestic life. However, the moon also will give a fluctuating emotional nature with a focus on inner peace. Now, fifth house, which is Leo, ruled by Sun. The fifth house rules your creativity, intelligence, children, and romance, apart from the other things. Now, as a result, when Sun is the lord of the fifth house, it brings creative self expression, strong intelligence, and thus these natives are likely to be proud of their children, may excel in leadership roles or creative fields or administrative roles, and have a romantic and playful side also. They might shine in social and competitive activities. Okay. Sixth house has the sign of Virgo, that's Mercury. Sixth house rules your debt, diseases, enemies, your health matters, service, your daily routines. Now, Mercury, as a lord of the sixth, helps the Aries natives to focus on their health routines and attention to detail in their work. It suggests that these guys can be analytical and disciplined and have a disciplined approach to overcoming obstacles and challenges in daily life. So they may excel in jobs that require critical thinking or detailed tasks. Or see, the Aries natives, they generally are very impatient. But when it comes to logical and critical thinking, these guys are very good. So the detailing of tasks will also depend upon the other combinations in the chart and how well the Mercury is placed. Now the seventh house, which has Libra, ruled by Venus. Seventh house is the house of marriage, partnerships, and social interactions. Now, Venus is the lord of the seventh house, a Saumya planet. So it suggests harmonious and attractive relationships or partnerships. Now, the Aries natives, they may seek balance and beauty in their relationship because seventh house is about balance and Venus is about beauty. And they may be attracted to refined artistic or diplomatic partners. Now, this placement also promotes a cooperative and a relationship-oriented outcome. So that's what they're seeking. Okay. Whether they get it or not is a different fact, depending upon the placement of Venus and the dignity of Venus and seventh house. Now, eighth house, that is the sign of Scorpio, ruled by Mars. Now, eighth house rules your transformation, secrets, joint finances, and hidden matters. By the way, Scorpio is also ruled by Ketu. So, Mars and Ketu are ruling the eighth house of an Aries native. Now, as a result, what happens? Mars, as the lord of eighth house, gives resilience and courage in facing life's crisis and transformations. And they may have hidden interest in knowledge, occult subjects, which is ruled by Ketu, or deep research, ruled by Ketu. Joint finances and inheritance may play a significant role in their life, and they are likely to experience transformative changes. Now, it depends what planet is going in the eighth house. Where does the lord of the eighth house, that is Mars and Ketu, go and sit, and what impacts are there on them in the chart? Now, ninth house has Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. Sagittarius is the sign of higher learning, spirituality, luck, long distance travel. pilgrimages, all these things. The ruling planet is Jupiter, right? It blesses the Aries native with a love for learning and travel and philosophy. So this placement encourages spiritual growth, good fortune, optimistic outlook in life. And they may find mentors or guides in life who influence their beliefs and personal development. It might be their father, any senior, anybody can be the mentor who is experienced in that field or is senior to them. Now, 10th house is ruled by Capricorn, and the Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So the 10th house signifies career, reputation, authority, discipline. Now, as a result, Saturn, as the lord of the 10th house, it will bring discipline and hard work and a strong sense of responsibility in career matters. You'll find these guys working very hard. Now, these natives, Aries natives, may rise to positions of authority through perseverance and dedication. And they are likely to take a structured and a dedicated approach in their work so that they can achieve their professional goals. See, profession is very important for these guys. And even if success comes a bit late in their life, does not matter. They would want to go and get it. However, again, it depends how Saturn is placed in the chart. Now, 11th house is Aquarius. It is ruled by Saturn and Rahu together. And 11th house rules your friendships, gains, aspirations, social networks, all these things. Now, Saturn as the lord of 11th house indicates that these guys may build supportive and loyal relationships with social networks over a period of time. The gains may come gradually and steadily. The friendship and social connections are often long-lasting and grounded in shared ideals or serious commitments. But however, Rahu is also one of the co-lords. So desires is one of the areas which becomes very important to be checked for Aries natives. See, for Aries native, 11th house is the Badhak house. Okay. So for all the 1, 4, 7, 10 signs, they are the 11th house is the Badhak. For 2, 5, 8, 11 signs, the 9th house is the Badhak. And for the 3, 6, 9, 12 signs, 7th house is the Badhak. So Badhak means which is causing obstacles or obstructions in your life. But the real role of the Badhak is to cause the obstruction so that you don't get deviated from your actual goal. So it will depend how Saturn and Rahu are placed in your chart. According to that, the Badhak will function. However, 11th house being the major house for greed and wish fulfillment and desires, the desires of Aries natives can a lot of times make them move away from where they are supposed to go. Okay. So 12th house, it has the sign of Pisces, ruled by Jupiter. 12th house signifies spirituality, foreign travel, expenses, and liberation. Now, Jupiter, as a ruler of this house, encourages these people to seek spiritual growth, get foreign connections, look at inner peace. There may be a strong interest in spiritual practices or understanding the deeper meaning of life later in their age. Expenses might go towards the travel or spiritual pursuits, and they may have an intuitive sides with an openness to introspection. But these can happen in the later stages of life. Okay. Now, what I gave you was a general interpretation and about the Aries individual. If you look at what the lords of the houses will bring into the lives of Aries natives when they are functioning or working or when their period comes. Now, wherever the lord of the house is placed in the chart, in whichever house, it will also give the effect of that area. This is the concoction you have to understand. It needs a bit of practice. That will be the result, the main result or the intention of the dasha of that planet when it runs. So when I come to the Dashas, I'll tell you that. For now, I'll give you 5 key examples of how to manage the concoction of this placement of Lord of the House, right? So for the Aries ascendant, say for example, Venus is the Lord of the second and seventh house, the second and seventh Lord, and it is placed in the first house, that is the ascendant. Now, what is the portfolio of Venus? Venus's portfolio is second house, that is wealth and family, and seventh house, that is relationships and partnerships. These go into the first house. So, what is the significance? This placement, on one hand, it will bring charm and attractiveness and a diplomatic personality in that Aries individual. Not all, but in that one, in whose chart this placement is there. The native may be financially well off and likely to seek balance and beauty in relationships. As a result, the person will be usually well spoken, gains respect in society, may find partners who enhance their status or appearance, or even they might be drawn to a partner from a similar family background. Financial stability will be a key focus area, and they often prioritize harmonious relationships. These guys will earn money or wealth by self efforts. And because of that, they might have to be away from family a lot of time. Their personalities would change after marriage. And these guys would do a lot for others. Right? So just because of one placement, this happens. Now, when will this happen? When Venus Dasha runs. Got it? Now, second example. Say, for example, Mars as the Lord of the first and the eighth house is sitting in the 10th house. Mars ruling the first house of self and health and the eighth house of transformation and obstacles. If it goes to the 10th house, that means the career will be impacted with all these things. So in the 10th house, Mars gives a strong drive for career and success. Mars is super well placed in 10th house. Okay. In Capricorn, Mars gets exalted. And it's in a very fantastic position. So a lot of focus on the career will be there. But Mars is a fast moving planet. Initiate things like this, right? Very quickly, right? So the person may achieve a powerful position through their determination and ability to handle crisis. Mars is a great crisis manager. This person might, is likely to face some struggles and transformations in their career, but emerge resilient and successful with a bold courage and public image. Okay. Now, this Mars in the 10th house is one of the very good yogas. We will cover that in the, I think we have covered it in the yoga video, or we are anyways going to cover a lot. So you can just wait for that. Now, the personality development of this individual will happen due to the profession and work. This person is going to enjoy his work, his or her work very much. And they will have to work very hard. Only then will they get fame. But they are going to do things that they will be remembered for a very long time. Okay. However, the 8th house effects are also going to come into the play. So you might see a lot of changes in career, breaks in career, jobs, changes in jobs, because they have a need for independence in their work, and they will not listen to anybody regarding their work. Thus, there will be frequent changes. So now you understand how the work scenario will happen with this particular placement. Now, say for example, Sun, which is the Lord of 5th house, for Aries ascendant, it moves to the 9th house. It goes and sits in the 9th house. So Sun is ruling the house of 5th house, which is the house of creativity, intelligence, and children. Placed in the house of 9th house, which is the house of spirituality, higher education, and luck. So this placement indicates a strong connection to spirituality, philosophy, and higher learning. And the natives' intelligence and creativity, they are directed towards philosophical and spiritual pursuits. And this native's personality and thought process and belief system will be very, very dependent or influenced by the father or the seniors. whom he interacts with. So this native might become a teacher at some point in time, or a mentor, or a leader in the areas of higher education, or a professor, or the person might experience a fortune through creative and intellectual work. Things like this can manifest depending upon other combinations. Now, they could also be blessed with intelligent and spiritual children who are a source of pride. Now, the past life merits, that's called the Purva Punya, are manifested through religious, societal deeds and the principles and father and higher learning of this native. Got it? It's a fantastic combination to have because Sun is also sitting in the friend's house. So it will depend upon the placement of Jupiter in the chart that what good and bad results will this person get and when will this happen? In the Dasha of Sun. Dasha and Antardasha of these planets. Okay. Now, okay, I'll be telling you what a Dasha and Antardasha is in the other video, so don't worry. We'll get there. Now, Jupiter, for example, it is the lord of the ninth and the 12th house in the chart. It sits in the third house. Okay. So Jupiter, it rules, what does it rule? Ninth house. What are the significations of ninth house? Luck, spirituality, long distance travel. Now the 12th house is signifies as expenses, foreign matters, foreign travels, spirituality, isolation, all these things, and charity, right? Third house represents courage, communication, and siblings. So when Jupiter moves to the third house, what it does is it makes the person very optimistic. Third house is also your subconscious mind. Okay? So it makes the person very optimistic, philosophical, and very communicative, and loves to learn. This native may gain luck and insights through their siblings, neighbors, or close friends, and you might see the person is traveling a lot. However, you might see him speaking many times when it is unwarranted, and this would create issues with people. So, as a result, this person could excel in teaching, writing, or fields that involve communication and travel. Now, they might find a spiritual or philosophical value in close relationships and pursue projects that help others. Also, there is a possibility of gaining recognition through writing or speaking about spiritual or moral topics. Now, it will also depend where the third Lord Mercury is going and sitting. Now, these guys, they want to do things very differently. They want to reinvent the wheel and they would really question everything and not follow traditions that much. This would create some friction in the workplace and the relationships, all that stuff. Now, there is the effect of the 12th house. What happens is as age goes by, either they get so occupied in their work or they are doing something in such a manner that their original talents, they are not able to harness their original talents and they keep on forgetting it gets diminished. Okay. So this, and when will this happen? In the Jupiter Dasha and Antardasha. Right. Now, say for example, Saturn. It is the lord of the 10th and the 11th house, and it sits in the 7th house. Now, Saturn rules the 10th house, which is career and reputation, 11th house, which is gains and social networks, and 7th house, which is marriage, partnerships, and your public life, your life opposite to you. Your public service life is 10th house, life opposite to you, in front of you is your public life, which is 7th house. Now, this placement, it indicates that the native's career and gains are strongly connected to partnerships, whether through marriage or business. Got it? Now, this becomes extremely important. So, depending upon what type of a partnership or a marriage the person has, his career and gains are going to get manifested. When will this happen? In Saturn's Dasha and Antardasha. Now, this person may marry later in life or have a mature and a serious approach to relationships. Partner can be also mature and serious, right? The partner, spouse, the business partners, they may significantly impact their career and social standing. Their gains and success, they come through cooperation and steady partnerships. And they may have a public image associated with responsibility, discipline, and authority. These guys can balance their approach and attitude in life very well. They can do the balancing act fantastically. They get happiness through their spouse, and the gains also can come through the spouse and spouse's relatives too. Now, balancing desires pragmatically and counting the blessings received, this leads to the harmonious life of these individuals who have this particular position. This is the learning of that dasha. The impacts is what we have discussed, but this is what the person needs to learn in that dasha. Okay. So these were just examples which I gave so that you can start thinking like this. Use the tables which I have given for the lords of each houses for each ascendants. Look at your charts, look at the charts which you know, see what you find out, what you understand, put them in the comments. It will be a fantastic discussion. When we go to the dasha, we will be able to understand more, and you will be able to understand what can happen when, what type of things you can expect when, and prepare accordingly, right? So till then, thank you very much. Keep on sharing, liking, and subscribing, and see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.